You're lying there at 2 a.m. again, phone face down, still checking it anyway, running through every text, every moment, everything you could have said differently. And you kept thinking, if I just understood why, if they just explain, if I can make a sense of it, then I could let it go. Stop. That's not what's happening in your brain right now. You are not obsessed with that person. You are obsessed with an unanswered question. And your brain, your very intelligent pattern recognizing brain, cannot accept an incomplete pattern. That's what this video is about. Why your mind won't let you move on after being ghosted. The neuroscience behind it, the attachment patterns that make it worse, and 3 specific shifts that actually break the loop. Let's get into it. So here's what most people get wrong about being ghosted. They think the pain is about rejection, that missing them means you're weak or stuck or can't even let go. That's not rejection, that's cognitive dissonance. Big difference. Your brain operates on prediction. Every second of every day, it's running a model of how the world works. Person says X, you respond Y, outcome is Z. Simple, predictable, and safe. So when someone ghosts you, they break that model. Your brain had a prediction. This person, I had a connection. They'll communicate, we will resolve this, and then none of that happened. That prediction failed, and your brain, specifically for your prefrontal cortex, cannot close the file on an incomplete pattern. Researchers at Yale and the University of Michigan have studied this. They call it the Zeigarnik Effect. The cognitive bias where interrupted tasks and unresolved situations occupy more of their mental real estate than completed ones. That's why you can't stop thinking about them. Not because they were the love of your life, not because you're broken, because your brain hasn't handled an incomplete equation and it keeps trying to solve it. Call it what it is, open loop in your nervous system, not a verdict on your value. Now let's talk about why this hits some people harder than others. If you have an anxious attachment style, and if you're watching this, there's a good chance you do, and your brain was already wired to scan for threats in relationships. Growing up, you probably learned that love was inconsistent. Warm one day, distant the next. Maybe you had a partner whose mood shifted without warning, or a reverse relationship where you're always walking on eggshells. Your young brain learned a survival strategy. Pay attention to everything. Anticipate. If you can predict what's coming, maybe you can protect yourself. That's not weakness, that's adaptation. But here's where it gets sticky. Psychologists break ruminations into 2 types. Reflexive rumination is where you're generally processing, learning, and making sense of things. This can actually be healthy. It's linked to higher emotional intelligence. Brooding rumination is where you're just looping, replaying the same scene, asking, what did I do wrong, without ever arriving at an answer or a decision. Ghosting pushes anxious attachers straight to brooding because the silence gives you nothing to work with. No data, no closure, just your own thoughts spinning. And here's the cruel part. Your brain rewards the spinning. This even shocked me when I even learned about it. But every time you replay that conversation, analyze that text, imagine what you say if they came back. Your brain releases dopamine. Not a lot, but just enough. Dopamine isn't just a pleasure chemical, it's a motivational chemical. It fires back when your brain thinks it's about to solve something, even if it never does. So when you're lying there at 2 a.m., running scenarios, constructing arguments, drafting the perfect message you will never send, your brain is partially rewarding you just for the activity of thinking. Cognitive psychologists call the illusion of mental progress. You feel like you're working through it, but you're just actually looping it. And the loop itself is chemically reinforced. This is why telling someone just stop thinking about them is neurologically naive. Your brain has a chemical incentive to keep going. You're not weak, you're up against your own dopamine system. So what do you actually do about it? Before I give you the 3 shifts that break this loop, I want to give you something that will help you in the moment when you're actually in the spiral. I built the tool called the Ghosting Loop Breaker. It's 5 exercises, including something called the Activations versus Proof Reality Check and the 5-minute no text pause checklist that walk you from spiraling to study in real time. You can grab it in the link in the description, totally optional, but if you find yourself reaching for your phone right now, these tools were literally made for that moment. Okay, wrapped it up. 3 shifts, let's go. Shift number 1, cognitive labeling. When the thought shows up, why do they do this to me? Don't even engage with that question. Label the pattern. Say to yourself, that's not a question, that's a rumination loop. Naming it creates distance. Psychologists call this the cognitive diffusion. You're observing a thought instead of fusing with it. This goes from, this situation is dangerous and I need to figure out, to, my brain is generating a concern right now. One pulls you in, the other gives you a fraction of distance. That fraction is everything. Shift 2, complete the prediction manually. Remember the Zeigarnik Effect we talked about? Your brain can't close an open loop, so it closes it yourself. Take a piece of paper, write down what happened in 3 lines. Not a novel, not a vent session. 3 lines. They pulled away without explaining. That's avoidance, not a reflection of my worth. The answer to why doesn't change what I need to do next. Your brain needs a completed narrative. Give it one. The closure you're looking for, you build it. Shift 3, interrupt the dopamine cycle. When you catch yourself mid-spiral, do something physical. Stand up, walk to another room, Splash cold water on your face. Change your physical state. This isn't a distraction technique. It's a neurological reset. You're breaking the dopamine feedback loop, sensory shift your body has to process. There's one more thing I need you to hear. You've been asking, what did I do wrong? That question assumes their silence is an answer about you. Their silence isn't data about you. It's data about them. Someone who ghosts you is someone who cannot handle difficult conversations. That's not a judgment. That's a capacity issue. The lack of emotional skill to say, this isn't working for me, or I'm not in a place for this, or no, or simply, goodbye. So, they disappear. And with your pattern-seeking, meaning-making, deeply perceptive brain, you turn their absence into evidence. If they left, I must not be enough. If they didn't explain, I must not deserve one. Stop asking, what did I do wrong? And start asking, why am I giving someone who couldn't even say goodbye the power to define my worth? Now that is the real question. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not broken. You were handed an incomplete equation, and your brain, the same brain that makes you perceptive and empathetic and deeply human, couldn't stop trying to solve it. That's not a flaw. That's evidence of a mind that cares about understanding. But understanding them won't heal you. The closure you're looking for, you have to build it yourself. And it starts the moment you stop waiting for someone else to tell you your worth. If this hit home for you, I want to point to two things. First, the Ghosting Reset Room. The free community I built for people exactly where you are right now. A space to stop spiraling and start rebuilding. The link is in the description down below. Second, if you're ready to go deeper, my 30-day ghosting recovery system walks you through the full process. From the first day of silence to genuinely not caring anymore. The link is also in the description. You are not broken. Stop waiting and start moving.